right, let's do this. We're joined by Portland Timbers head coach Phil Neville. We're going to open it up to questions.
Phil, obviously just 4 games left in the Houston Dynamo season. They're 3 points out of a wild card spot. How are games this time of year different when teams are fighting for their season?
Well, I think you saw in the game last night, LAFC against RSL, in terms of sort of like one, you see a team go up 2-0 and then you see another team that doesn't give in, that keeps fighting and nearly get back into the game and then get punished for gambling to try and win the game. I think a point is probably not good enough for those teams that are sort of like outside the top 7 at this moment in time. So what you're going to see is you're going to see teams gambling to win, taking risks to win. They're going to be open games. They're going to be lots of transition goals, and I think that's what we'll see in the last 5 games for us, 4 games for Houston.
I know you're a big fan of fullbacks across Major League Soccer. Griffin Dorsey, one of the best attacking fullbacks. How is he a different challenge than your average right back in MLS?
Well, I mean, he's the modern day. He's your typical modern day fullback who plays on the highest line, similar to what we do with Juan Mosquera. He plays on the highest line. He's a threat. He assists goals. He scores goals. He makes really good runs forward. He's part of the front 5 for them, and he's definitely someone that Houston rely heavily on in terms of the way that they play.
Moving on and actually kind of keeping it with the fullbacks question, with such a busy week ahead and fullback seemingly being one of the spots on the roster with locked-in starters in Jimmer Forey and Juan Mosquera, how does the potential fullback rotation and getting proper amount of rest but also getting the proper amount of playing time for those 2 starters, how does that look for this week?
Well, I mean, you look at Juan Mosquera in particular, because of the amount of distance that we ask him to fill is slightly different than Jimmer, who plays a little bit lower. So I think when you have 3-game weeks, you add in that the travel to Houston, which is a 2-3 day trip. You add in that two games on turf as well, and 1 on a turf that's not probably the best. You've got to make sure that you manage these players through it. I think we're at the stage of the season now where I think we've managed the players really well. I think they're going into these games full of energy, and really all we're asking them to do is to play 3 90-minute games in a 7-day period. And I think at this stage of the season, fatigue goes out the window. You've got to go through that. You've got to go through those moments of tiredness. But everything's on the line, and you cannot save anything for any game. So I'd say in the first couple of games, if they play the full 90 minutes and they're tied for the Dallas games, we've got brilliant replacements. Ian Smith played in the last T2 game, so he's had 90 minutes under his belt. Mills is always ready to play. So everyone's just going to be ready to step up.
With the season being so long, how do you get guys to try to tick on at this point in the year when everything's to play for?
Well, your periodization model should mean that you actually come into this period hopefully fresh. I think last season what we did was we came into this period, and particularly our front 4 were gassed out. We'd played them to the absolute minutes. You think about David Da Costa, he's had the last 2 games, and now he's like that. He's like that player that's actually banging my door down to start a game. So that's what you want. You've got Rojas who's fresh. Velda's coming off a really good pre-season and is as fresh as a daisy. Anthony had, 8 weeks out, 9 weeks out. So there's no fatigue. Pipe and Kevin Kelsey, they've been rotated. They've only played 1,200 minutes each, and so we're fresh in the top half of the field, and that's where we're going to need now. You look at the games at the weekend. 70-80% of the goals scored at the weekend were DPs. I think this is the moment for DPs, and I think what you see in the best DPs in the league, they grab a team, they grab a game and say, right, I'm going to take you to the playoffs. And I've got absolute no doubt that our DPs are going to do the same for us.
Anthony's somebody you called undroppable last game. This season he's had a career year.
Yeah, he's not playing on Saturday now.
He's had a career year on the left, but last year in your first season you played a lot on the right. How is Anthony different on each side?
I think he prefers the left, but funnily enough, he probably produces more on the right. We were speaking to Christoph Felder the other day when his record season in his career was when he was on the right, but prefers to play on the left. So we have got decisions to make with them too, which to play on the left or the right, and we've obviously got Rojas, Omier, and Ari as well. So what I would say with Anthony on the left-hand side, that ability to the speed in behind, the ability with his right foot to bend the ball round. You've seen a couple of goals, the St. Louis goal, Minnesota goals. The ability like Thierry Henry used to do, just bend the ball. Boanga does it for LAFC. people just probably in modern day football, you see lots of left footers on the right and right footers on the left, because it gives them that extra cut inside or go down the line, and we're lucky with the wingers that we've got.
I think this final thing for me, Phil, switches seem to be very successful against New York Red Bulls, going from one touchline all the way to the other.
Yeah.
Is that something of emphasis? Is that something that you've been prioritizing the full season?
I think it's been a full season. I think because we play with maximum width in our game, with our Mosquera, with obviously on the other side we've had Rodriguez, Anthony, Lassiter, Velda. We've had lots of players playing on that left-hand side. I think we want maximum width. We want to make the pitch as big as possible. We've got players in midfield like David Ayala, who likes to switch the ball, particularly from right to left. And I think if you stretch a team out as wide as possible, then you're going to get spaces in the midfield for us to play our game.